I'll talk about one of them today, but I'm going to tell you all five. Really good leaders can inspire a shared vision. They can share a vision of the future that is inspirational. Think of the word inspire. Spire comes from breathe, right? So if aspire on the church is inviting you upward, it's pointing upward. It's inviting you to breathe up, to live up. But the word spire is in perspire, to work. There's aspire. Okay? Think about the beauty of that word, Kim, if you want to look up another word. Inspiration of a vision requires you to perspire. It requires you to aspire. It requires you to be the spire on the top of your building, pointing upward. How many people on this planet could possibly suggest that Donalyn Dominguez is lying to them? This is the most amazing proof of network marketing ever. You just watch. Where's Donalyn, by the way? I don't know where you went back there. Oh, she knew I was speaking, so she was smart. She took advantage of Daryl's break and out. I'm just sitting there in the back and I'm watching Donalyn and I'm like, this is the most amazing thing. Are we all really in the room, in the moment? Like, she just taught us how to keep people on auto ship, just make it impossible to cancel. She was like, oh, every time that box came, oh darn, I gotta cancel that. I don't even know how to cancel it. I was sitting in the back, I'm like, this is our business builder of the year. She's teaching all of us, make auto ship impossible to cancel. And you will all find your next business builder of the year. As she's talking, I'm saying to myself, this is the most amazing thing. This is the proof. This is the proof that marketing through you, are you going to tell me there's a billboard better than what you just heard? Are you going to tell me that there's like some Instagram post that outplays that? Just handing her a mic, zero guile, zero head faking, no top spin, no marketing bling. She just sits up here and tells the story, and I'm in the back of the room going, who in their right mind listening to her would say she's making that up? It's honest, it's pure, it's genuine. Now, what comes from that is she is the spire. This is a woman, by anyone's measurements, who should be in retirement age after decades of delivering children, is making multiple six figures, re-engineering a whole new society of friends and family around her, who, as Teresa just said to me in the back, like, they just adore her. How could you not? And anyone who wants to arm wrestle with me on that is going to lose, because, like, I want to run through the wall and say, how dare you judge anything that has to do with this beautiful way of sharing truth, hope, and yes, inspiration. So the first practice of exemplary leadership is inspiring a shared vision. Now, Kim just invited you to this beautiful Oprah last night. Was hysterical. Where's Stacy? Where's Stacy? Stacy and Teddy were sitting with me at the table. Stacy from New York goes down, meets Teddy's dad, and Teddy's dad's out plowing in the field, right? This is true in Mississippi. You're a New York girl. You're probably talking like a little like a New Yorker, right? You got a little of this going. You don't even know you got it, but you got it. And he asked her if she likes taters. And she didn't know what that meant, so then was it you, Teddy, that told her what taters mean? Yeah, you thumbs up, Teddy. Teddy, this is the second day you're not wearing overalls. I am very proud of you. Teddy told me last night, he's like, we better take a picture because you get me out of my overalls and it's like a special day. That's 2 in a row, Teddy. We're going to have some influence. I'm going to have you in a tie next time. No, so Teddy, she's there. His dad plowing, right? Stacy's down there from New York. She doesn't know what's happening right now. He's like, you like taters? She says, what? Oh, he wants to know if you like potatoes. Then he's like, you like maters? And she's like, well, those are tomatoes. And then he said, you like okra? She goes, well, I like her, but I've never met her. The quote from Oprah Winfrey, I'm thinking, Oprah Winfrey. We were howling laughing last night. And then the quote came up this morning. I was like, you better be taking notes. That's not okra, that's Oprah. So fun. Okay, now, first practice of exemplary leadership. Inspire a shared vision. What is the shared vision? Means you want to know. You want to know someone else's vision. These postcards that are going down, the genius. You want to know the real genius? Boy, if we collected those and read those together, and that's a shared vision. So leaders inspire a shared vision. When you hear the word inspire, remember perspire, aspire, transpire. All of the things you want in life are spiring up, but they take sweat, they take clear communication, they take desire, aspiration before they're going to transpire or happen. If, in fact, Kim, your quote from Da Vinci, right? Was it Da Vinci? Amazing. People let things happen to them, but the truth is they happen to things, in this case, Asia, that's transpire through perspire, aspire, inspire. Hear the words? Drive by a church, you are the spire. You're pointing up. You're telling somebody who's been a midwife for 30 years plus that, you know what? Come do this with us. And it's like the Hotel California. Once you start auto ship, you can never leave. And then when they tell you it doesn't work, you should say, prove it doesn't work. You got more product there than you can possibly handle. Unbelievable story. Like, who makes that up? That's not a billboard. That's a person. Okay, second thing really good leaders do. Are you ready? They challenge the process. They're willing to ask, why do we do something? You guys have heard the story about the granddaughter who asked her mom why she cut the ends of the ham off? You've all heard that? And she goes to her mom, Mom, why do we cut the ends of the ham off before we put it in the oven? And then the mom says, I don't know, because my mom did it. And then they go to Grandma, and they go, Grandma, why did you cut the ends of the ham off? She goes, because I didn't have a pan big enough for the ham. And they're like, oh, so it doesn't make it breathe? No, it ruins it. That's called challenging the process. Like, why are we doing it this way? Now, you got to marry that with the person that wants to come in who's never done this before telling you they know how to do it better than you. My first day in the insurance industry years ago, my boss said, I want to ask you a favor. And I said, of course, you're my boss. He said, spare me your brilliance. And I was like, wait, say that again? What was that? He goes, spare me your brilliance. I'm not interested how smart you are. And I was totally offended. I'm like, what? You don't want my brilliance? He says, do exactly what I tell you to do, and you're going to survive. So spare me your brilliance. 5 years from now, you can tell me your brilliance, but I know how to get people through a business that most people don't make it in. Spare me your brilliance. So there's a balance. If you're brand new and you want to challenge the process, be careful. But you can challenge the way you're doing it. You can, in this case, Donovan just gave great examples of challenging the process, right? So good leaders are willing to challenge a process. And that's okay. That's really healthy. What's a third thing they do? And these are not necessarily in order. They model the way. Great leaders model the way. They do what they're going to ask others to do. Very simple. Inside of modeling the way, there's a whole bunch of things we could talk about. I would submit to you everything you learned yesterday, you should, as a leader, model the way. Now, to be clear, where's Frank? Frank, true or false question. Every person in this room, on or about on June 1st, I'm going to give you some room in case you need a week or two, is going to receive a block of referral codes. True? Now, when I join as an associate, I'll also receive referral codes. How many do I receive? 4. So everyone in this room is going to have 4 codes. When do those codes expire?
21 days.
Next question. Do you, as existing associates, after those have either been used or expired, get more codes?
No.
How do you get more codes? You bring in associates who get more codes. So how do you model the way in the next 3 to 4 weeks? If you're a leader and leaders model the way, what are you going to do in the next 3 to 4 weeks? You're going to use your codes, and you're going to be teaching other people how to use those codes. Questions? And I'm going to stay here for a minute. What just happened yesterday? Can we just talk for a minute? Like, what happened yesterday? You guys want to tell me?
Inspiration.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you, Donna Lynn. Inspiration. Do you guys did you process that? I am so sunburned right now. I'm convinced some measure of my capacity to think is gone. I fried my face yesterday. And I was in the shade the whole time. How do you get sunburned in the shade? Puerto Rico. Okay, what happened yesterday? Shout it out to me.
Duplication.
Oh, thank you. Who said that?
Yeah, Barb.
That's really good. That's what happened yesterday. By the way, that's one of the words I hoped you would say. Why is it duplication? What about this represents the potential for duplication? You can shout it out. We're just friends.
Mercury 300.
Okay, tell me the D300. Tell me the alignment that Scott, Frank, team have put. You have a bundle which has how much PV? And if I get how many? 2 on each leg, which equals what?
300.
Right. Then I got 300. Frank, what rank ties to that?
D300.
Okay. Guess what this team's been doing? Challenging the process. They're saying, we want to dig in on the process. There's somewhere in this it's not working. So they pushed hard on the process. Everything you heard yesterday from Scott and Frank and the rest of his guests, they were challenging the entire process. And guess what they did? They created a new shared vision. They inspired a new shared vision of how you could play. And I agree with Barb, this is going to be a play towards duplication. Now I've got referral codes. Guess what that's called? Think of it as this way. Control, Alt, Delete. What happens? Reboot. You guys riding the clutch right now? You guys probably aren't. You got people on your teams riding the clutch right now?
Yeah.
This is what we do. We go out and tell them by inspiring a shared vision of what's possible, we become the spire. And we tell them, it's time to perspire, sister. Like, we're going back to work. And you got X number of days to get sweaty again. So let's get aspiration, which points to vision, right? Let's get aspiration on the table. And don't aspire without perspire. That's called hypocrisy or perjury. Whichever you choose, both of which I don't particularly like. But what do you want to aspire to? Are you ready to inspire others? Are you ready to perspire? Because it ain't going to transpire until you perspire. You with me? Can I get an amen or something? Good grief, you guys. I'm giving you some quality content here. And I need Don Lynn to come back up here and hold you captive. What happened yesterday was a challenge of an entire process. It was a way of saying, we are actually riding the clutch too much. Guys, we are the only company in the world that has this technology, and I will go on record. Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? Is he still sleeping? There he is. Okay, Hunter, so thankful you got it this morning. I love calling guys out. They're like, where's Hunter? He's like, Hunter, our hats are off to you. He was a temp. Guys, are you kidding me? Hunter's like a genius. Just don't get too cocky on me, Hunter. I mean, Hunter is a tiny, high-energy molecule. He is the cascading effect. Okay, now, Hunter engineers and rethinks. What did he do, Scott? Scott said, I want you to challenge the process. Didn't he? And that's one of the 5 practices of exemplary leaders. Challenge the process. And what did he show you yesterday? An entire presentation where they challenged the process. Let me be clear. Virtus definitely leaned into innovation and something new. But that big distiller, you know what they used to call it even before they called it like the big blue whatever? They called it Papa Smurf. Didn't they, Scott? It was Papa Smurf. Nobody dared challenge Papa Smurf in the process. Hunter comes in under Scott's direction, and they're like, well, no, let's challenge this. Distilling, right, is not the purest form. What happens when you take out more of the impurities? You get better product. Product that lasts longer, has greater efficacy, and increased molecules. Whoa, he challenged the process. That's leadership. So, leaders inspire a shared vision. What was the second one you wrote down? They challenge processes. They're constantly thinking about, hey, can we do this again? How do we improve? And the third one I told you? Guys, this is a reboot. If you guys let those codes go, you're missing a huge opportunity. And guys, I gotta tell you something else. There's more stuff coming that's just gonna keep lining this process up. Okay? So, third one is model the way. Please, please, please take seriously what that means for you coming off this event. Okay, number 4, are you ready for this one? Enable others to act. Really good leaders enable others to move. They don't make people move, they enable them. Drucker used to say, leaders remove the barriers to one's own motivation. Think about that. That is genius. So really good leaders get to know their people well enough to know how they create their own barriers that make them stuck. Can you think of someone on your teams or yourself who has been struggling with a barrier to their own motivation? Rather than try to motivate them from without, which by definition as a word is not possible, right? Motivation comes from within yourself. So the whole notion of a motivational speaker is actually wrong. You're an inspirational speaker. You breathe, you spire into them. But motive is from within, right? What was the motive for the crime? That comes from within. So how do I motivate someone? You inspire them, but then you pay really close attention to what are the barriers to their own motivation. Give me examples of barriers to their own motivation.
Limited belief.
Okay, Kim just did a masterful job talking about this. Why do you think we talk about believe, belong, become? When I wrote that in 2012, it wasn't a game for me. I was saying, you know what keeps people from really winning is first belief. Belief precedes all meaningful action. Then what? What happens, and there's this little subtle thing at the end of that belief section that if you miss this, you're still going to disconnect or dislocate what that's all about. It is this: when others believe in you and you believe in them, you belong. You with me? So don't think this is just alliteration, 3 nice B words. This is really pretty. No. I believe in Trish. She knows I believe in her. And when she believes in me, we belong to each other. How many of you have grown up in a home where someone you didn't really feel believed in you? Now, you don't have to raise your hand. That's okay. I'm not qualified to know what to do next if you do. I'm just not. But I'll tell you, you know what blows my mind? How many of us carry that I grew up in a home where someone didn't quite believe in me. My son James is here. James, I want you to stand up and wave at everybody. Hey James, I want you to stay standing. I believe in James. I believe in him. James was the kind of boy, stay standing, it's good for you. When James was a little boy, he fell in love with basketball. And he focused. And he would get up in the morning and go out in the driveway and he would shoot before school 100 free throws. You remember? How many would you make on a good day of 100 free throws?
Like 87 when I was like 5th grade.
Yeah, James.
So part of the reason I believe in him so much is when he sets his mind to something, it's on. It's been fun for me to see him in game situations where when he, literally a chance to win a game at the line, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the driveway at 6 a.m. But what's he thinking of? I got this. His teammates believe. And what makes James very unique is he believes in his teammates and he believes in himself. His coach came to me and said, that's what makes James unique. Okay? Jim, your pop loves you and believes in you. Now, think about it. What happens if you don't feel someone believes in you in close-knit communities? Question, do you feel like you belong there? No. Think about how clear that connective tissue is between belief and belong. The second I genuinely believe that Scott believes in me and I believe in him, we belong to each other. But it's more of a game in our minds or your minds. Do you believe in me? Right? Do you believe in me? I think you believe in me. What happens when you know that I believe in you? What happens when you look across? I want you to look at each other right now and say, I believe in you. Look at each other. Now look at the other person and tell them I believe in you. Okay, now, everybody look here. Do it again. Same people. Turn around to the table behind you. Get on it. Quit looking at me.
I believe in you.
Okay. I'll give you a secret. Don't ever say good luck again to anybody. I'll give you the secret. Even if you're Chinese. Harry, where's Harry? Where's my brother? Harry, how do I say I believe in you in Chinese? Shanxin? Oh my gosh. It's like Gaixin, Kaoxin, Shanxin. That means happy, I believe in you. Kaixin, Gaoxin, Shanxin. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to say good luck anymore to anybody. You know what you're going to say to them? I believe in you, Shanxin. I believe in you. It's different. It's very, very different. If somebody says, I believe in you, if you say that, I believe in my son James. I believe in him. I believe in my wife. I believe in her, man. She is amazing. And I believe in her. How does that feel different to you than me going, hey, good luck? Good luck. A little bit of words for you. Which one inspires you? You with me? Quit saying good luck with that. When I add with that to it, it even gets worse. Yeah, with that. You want to see it? No, good luck with that. Anybody who says that to you, just peace out on them. I'm with you on that. And then just look right at them and say, I believe in me. It's on. Like, you're going to be reading about me. Okay? So, Now, what happens when you believe in other people and they know it? Their confidence goes up, but the belonging gets organic. It's not forced, it's organic. Now, there is a very interesting word called enmity. Who can tell me what enmity means? You're going to see more and more of this in the world. You're going to remember this. E-N-M-I-T-Y. What is enmity? Somebody look it up on their phone. E-N-M-I-T-Y.
Division.
It's like a wall.
Call it out. I can't hear you.
It's a wall.
A wall?
Opposition.
Opposition? You're still not there.
Against.
It's hatred, guys. Enmity is mutual hatred. And you're going to see an increase in enmity in the world. You're seeing it now. What is amity? Somebody look up amity. Amity is like in Spanish, amistad. It is friendship. Enmity and amity are going to continue to grow. This is my prediction. And incidentally, my dad said to me 10 years ago, while writing mega trends about this business, he said, you will see increased civil unrest in the world. But what will happen at the same time is increased amity. So they're going to literally move parallel away from each other. That's my belief. I believe that. So what does that mean for us? People looking for amity in a world of increased enmity will see the difference here. They will feel it. They will be looking for a place where someone believes in them, where an inspired, shared belief and vision exists, and where they say, I belong here. I want to be here. If I were to have the time necessary to ask all of you to share the deep, abiding, real value that you get from this, as many or more of you would put down the relationships and community than you would the money. That's the truth. Many of you would say, I have found a new body of relationships. I have found a new pocket of belonging. I have found a new community, and it's meaningful to you. It's because of belief and amity. If there is evil, and I believe there is, evil uses enmity and tries to get people to hate each other. I have no interest in being part of a world where hatred is both mutual and we don't challenge that process. Are you with me? If leaders challenge process, keep that in mind. Challenge assumed enmity. Be careful. Including in political discourse, international discourse, I can promise you this. We sell this product in 33 markets in the world. All the people around the world that are selling this product, what I can tell you I've learned from them, they love their children. We have to be careful and learn how to navigate a world where this is going to increase. It's wrong. It is wrong. And it's a very, very tricky balance. Leaders challenge process. Leaders believe in each other. Okay? Now, what are the big four so far? Inspire, share, vision. Inspire comes from respiratory, breathing. Inspiring a vision is breathing it into people. They want to be part of it because you breathe it into them. It's aspire reaching up on a church. You're pointing people to power their potential. You're saying, are you really happy in the current orbit you're in? Because I think you got more. Everybody you meet, to quote C.S. Lewis, has the potential of divinity in them. Like, find that in people. Teach them, inspire them, show them a vision of what can be. Vertus started this business at 69 years old. He wasn't listening to any of the retirement norms. I was like, Dad, hang up the cleats. Like, you're done. You have enough money, it's okay. He's like, but we can help people. That's a true statement. And he never really took a whole bunch of cash off this business. He just kept rolling it in, saying, let's go. Let's keep going. He's a great example of that. Inspiring a shared vision. What's number 2?
Challenge the process.
Don't be afraid to challenge process. Can I ask a favor? Challenge the process, but don't be challenging. If you become so challenging to the entire enterprise because you're challenging the process, you're not helping us go forward. We need to work together. Challenging the process can be very healthy, but you've got to do it without becoming a challenge yourself. You with me? What's the third one? By the way, these are not in any specific order. In fact, you can reorder these at a different time in your journey. Modeling the way just says check in with yourself. And by the way, it's a roller coaster. We're not like a straight line. We're human beings. We go up and down. We have good seasons. We have bad seasons. We need a break. It's okay. Be nice to yourself. I'm pretty sure the meanest conversation you've ever had with another person was with yourself. I'm pretty sure. Quit it. Quit being mean to yourself. It's okay. We all have ups and downs. The best Major League Baseball players strike out a lot more than they hit. There's Hall of Famers. It's okay. Challenge process. What's the next one? Okay, how do I get people to move? You ever ask that question? What is wrong with these people? I'll give you some great answers. Everything that was rolled out yesterday is aimed at enabling others to act. We're trying to create the conditions where it's easier for people to act. I'll give you an example, right? If I'm getting 150 PV and I get 2 of those together and all of a sudden I'm starting to see the math and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting closer to pay for my product. I'm getting closer to a rank advancement. That's going to enable you to act more. That's why when Barb said duplication, she's right. When we shared some of these things with the ad council last week, one of my favorite members from Asia, Derek, we were all just sounding it out. He just goes, duplication. Because he thinks deep. How do I keep it going down here? Because you're running out of steam, right? You're trying to inspire the shared vision. You're tap dancing, like you're doing everything you can. And you're just like, I got nothing left. How do I get these people to move? Well, part of it is the way we design this. So we've challenged the process, right? We want to help it move. And you know, Jaron Webb texted me yesterday and just said, hey, how's the team doing? How's it going? And I said, these people will figure this out so fast. We're not the ones that are going to fine tune it. You are. You're going to work it until you find your way where you go, got the sweet spot. This is how we do it. And each team will be a little different. Scott said we reserve the right to change. Good news for you, he didn't say we reserve the right to refuse you any service at any time. Like, he was being nice, but he said we reserve the right to change this. We're going to watch it, right? But we want to get it optimized to where it's working for you, it's working for us, and we can sustain it. Because we don't want to just start and stop. Okay, I've got a few minutes left. I got the 5th one for you. I know where I am. Do you believe it?
I believe.
Goodness. Yeah, good luck with that, Norton. When I was a kid, by the way, I'll start with this. The 5th one, you ready? Encourage the heart. Encourage the heart. So, number 1, inspire shared vision. Number 2,
Challenge the
don't
process.
be afraid to challenge process. Number 3,
Model the way.
model the way. Don't head fake me, right? If you're going to do it, I'll do it. Number 4,
Enable others to act.
let's stay on that for one more second. You're all wondering, like, how do I get my sister to do it? You've heard me before. What do I say about your sister? Leave your sister alone. Just leave her alone. I'll tell you a quick story. Like, when I started in the insurance and investment industry, everybody wanted to get the big client. Nobody wanted to go out and do like small game hunting. It was all like big game, you know, and they use this language like hunting language. It was a ridiculous testosterone thing. It was like, we're gonna go get this big whale. This guy's a man. And everyone was going after the big guy. And the guy that told me to spare his brilliance, he goes, would you just go get 100 clients in the next 12 months and quit acting? So we called it a hat trick. If I went out and had a $12 or less monthly check after 9 p.m. in like a trailer park, that was a hat trick. And I'm going out trying to sell something. And all I was trying to do was get a client. And I'd go home and like lace my shoes off at night, like, what am I doing this for? I'm making no money. But I was building the muscle, right? I was learning how to act. Now, sometimes you try too hard with the people closest to you. You with me? Yeah. The best thing you can do. So Vertus is a big executive, lives up in Park City, sitting on a pile of dough. He's the whale. His son is now a financial advisor because I did like 40 hours of some test. I'm intelligent. And he wanted nothing to do with me. And so you know what I decided? I know what my dad was doing. He was saying, I'm not going to work with you just because you're like walking around with a card. So I went to my siblings, my beloved siblings. Do you guys need investments for your kids, retirement planning, insurance? Like control, alt, delete. They were out. I'm like, really? You don't have $12 a month? They didn't want anything to do with it. And then I declared my independence from the people that loved me the most. But I wasn't bitter. I drank the bitter cup and did not become bitter. I was like, okay, I got it. They want to see if I can win. I got it. So I stopped. I'll never forget it. 5 years into my career, I'm a national director. Vertus calls me and says, let's go to lunch. All right, Dad, I'll meet you for lunch. We go to this really nice restaurant in Salt Lake called Tuscany. And he pulls this stack of files out and he puts it up on the table. And I'm like, what's that? He's like, I need your help with all this retirement information. And I said, are you sure, Dad? Because I'm not sure. 5 years ago I couldn't help you. And he smiled. And he says, I'm proud of you. You've worked your tail off. Now help me figure this out. Now, what's the moral of the story? Number one is,
You got the whale.
stay in the game. What's that?
You got the whale.
I got the whale after a lot of time on a boat, puking over the side, like seasickness. You know what I did? I went through what I used to call the school of transactions. I just went out and did the small stuff. I didn't try to be something I wasn't. I did the same thing. And you know what else I did? I then recruited the #1 team in Mutual New York system because I taught them to do the exact same thing I did. And when I hired them, I said, spare me your brilliance, do what I do. I have dozens of guys across the country now who make really, really good incomes, many of them 7-figure incomes, who I still go to lunch with, but I recruited right out of college and said, don't be a hero. And when their family didn't want anything to do with them, I just said, leave your family alone and go find someone else. Okay? Sometimes what enables you to act is to move away from the people whose opinion of you matters the most and whose intention to do anything with you is the least. That is called really dumb. When people's opinion of you is the least, I think I've gotten that backwards. They love you and your opinion of them matters the most to you, but they have no intention of doing anything with you. Leave them alone. Don't be mad, don't be rude, don't be grumpy, don't act like a victim at your next Thanksgiving dinner, don't do that. And don't overplay it. You know the phrase hammering the nail through the wood? You just need the nail to be flush with the wood. You don't need to keep hammering the nail through the wood. That's counterproductive. Why am I telling you this? The sooner you declare your independence from the people whose opinion is still overweighted, you're gonna win. Declare your independence. Don't be rude, but you know what you're really doing? You're nurturing a false anticipation of success, and you really want the reverberating sense that people that you love are affirming of what you're doing. You don't need it. This is not on trial. Any person with half a brain watching Donald up here would be like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. And if they don't see that, then with all due respect, we tip our hats. Because last I checked, there's a lot of people breathing oxygen on this planet. And there's a lot of people who have dreams, and there's a lot of people stuck in jobs they don't want to be in, and there's a lot of people who can't figure out how to make 200 extra bucks a month. And there's a lot of retired people who got a lot to give, who have learned and grown, and from their own experience are ready to play at a different level, and the world teaches them to go play golf every day. I'll tell you right now, the best thing we could do for senior couple marriages is get them out of the house with each other, away from each other, building a business. You guys are on a tape delay. Are you getting this? Are you even getting this? That was like a 5-minute tape delay. I'm telling you, the best thing you can do for retirement, this is my parents. My mother said, get Vertus out of the house, and he started to see it. He was telling her how to do laundry. She would pull me aside and just talk, can I talk to you for just come here, can I talk to you for just a second? Your father is driving me nuts. He's come home and thinks he's the senior vice president of this house. Get him to start a biotech network marketing company and get him out of my life, except for when I'm ready for him again. Hey, look around the room, guys. Guess what our average age is in this room? No, it's not. Guess what? I love it. I love where we are as a company. You know why? Because simplicity lives on the far side of complexity. Track with me on this. This is good. Simplicity lives on the far side of complexity. You guys get what I'm saying? You guys have a whole bunch of scar tissue, just like I do. And you show your scars, kind of like Jaws. You remember when they're showing their scars to each other and pulling their leg up? You guys all have scars, but guess what? That complexity makes you incredibly wise. Because I'm watching my younger kids who think they're wise raising their kids, because I have grandkids now, I'm like, oh yeah, I used to do that, you don't want to do that. That's not going to work. That didn't work with you, it's not going to work. Simplicity lives on the far side of complexity. What does that mean? We have to go through the crap to get to real, true simplicity. And guess what? This company's got 15 years of battling through complexity, and maybe we're going to start getting closer to it, but that's your life too. I take you guys over a bunch of young kids running around acting like they figure, no offense to anyone young in this room, James, close your ears. But I genuinely believe that our average age in this room is a huge asset. We have life experience. We've lived the curveballs. We know and understand that wisdom means you're going to get through stuff, okay? So don't be afraid of the age of who you're talking to. It just so happens that our product manifests really well as well when people are a little older. And by the way, athletes who have been here at this event know as well because they know their bodies well. Okay, so I'm riffing. You guys with me? Are we all right? Encourage the heart. Okay, cour in French. Where's Sylvie? What is cour in French? I'm saying it wrong. How do you say it? Que. What is it? Heart. So in this case, it's saying heart to heart, like lift the heart. Courage comes from the word in French. Cour is heart. Did I say that? I can't do French at all. I can do Mandarin, but I can't do French. Sonji, Kaixin, Songjin. Did I say it right? Shanxing, like I said. Shanxing. Shanxing Cour. Encourage the heart means the heart. Now, can I give you a great poem that my mom taught me as a kid? And Trish, I want to dedicate this poem to you. And the reason, by the way, I'm not gonna use my phone because I tried to rememorize it this morning, but when I was a little boy, my mom would make me memorize poems. And she told me that when she was younger, she and her mom would go down, they lived in a matchbox home. I mean, literally just tiny. 50 years my grandma Evelyn lived in this house with my grandpa Joseph. And my mom would go down in the basement where the washer was, and she would do laundry with my grandma, and they would iron my grandpa's shirts, and they would recite poems. Okay? Now, we're on encourage the heart. This is what my mom would always say. If with pleasure you are viewing any work a woman is doing, or man, but in this case, woman, if you like her or you love her, tell her now. Don't withhold your approbation until the parson makes oration and she lies with snowy lilies on her brow. For no matter how you shout it, she won't really care about it. She won't care how many teardrops you have said. If you think some praise is due her, now is the time to slip it to her. For she cannot read her tombstone when she's dead. More than fame and more than money is a comment, kind and sunny, and the hearty, warm approval of a friend. For it gives to life a savor, makes you stronger and braver, and it gives you heart and soul until the end. If she's earned your praise, bestow it. If you like her, let her know it. Let the words of true encouragement be said. Do not wait until it's over and she lies beneath the clover, for she cannot read her tombstone when she's dead. Now, my mom would say that bouncing around the house because she would see something really good, and she would say, when you see someone do something good, tell them. So when that bell comes out, I think of Trish, and I was reading that poem. If with pleasure you are viewing, I think of Trish. Trish is viewing the pleasure of seeing you work your tails off to get here. If with pleasure you are viewing any work a woman's doing, if you like her or you love her, tell her now. Recognize her now. Don't wait until it's over, right? Do not wait to share your approbation until the parson makes oration. That's your funeral, right? And she lies with snowy lilies on her brow. No matter how you shout it, she won't care about it. She won't know how many teardrops you shed. If you think some praise is due her or him, now's the time to slip it to her. But she can't read her tombstone when she's gone, when she's dead. You see the power? I grew up in a home where if my mom saw something good happening, she would tell you, hey, that was a really good job. I thought Scott did a great job yesterday, and I thought Frank did a great job yesterday. And I believe, by the way, could all of the executives please stand, if you're okay, just for a second? Stay standing. If with pleasure you are viewing any work a man or woman is doing, if you like them or you love them, some of them I like, some I love, tell them how. Same goes for you guys. Guess what it does when you do that? It encourages the heart. Leaders encourage the heart. Recognition. When Trish runs up on the stage, and what is the first thing she does? Number one, she's trying to get your blood pressure up and get you excited and make this a little bit happier, right? And funner. But when she comes up here, she says, I want to thank our founder, our guy in the back, we love him. And I'm just like, oh wow, she loves me. And I'm like, she likes me or she loves me, tells me now. These people standing right here, they work really, really hard. So if you like them or you love them, tell them now. Remember, more than fame and more than money is a comment, kind and sunny, and the hearty warm approval of a friend. If you just did that one thing in your business, I mean, that's what Donna Lynn is. That's what people say about Donna Lynn. She's just calling them, telling them they're doing great. She's giving them a kick in the fanny every once in a while, in a midlife style. Like, you're having this baby now. But you know what? The hearty, warm approval of a friend, more than fame, more than money, is a comment kind and sunny, and the hearty, warm approval of a friend. Encouraging the heart in and of itself is one of the exemplary practices of great leaders. Now, let's talk about this for just a few seconds I have left. How do you get really good at this? You guys, that's cheese. That's like, I got practice, but how do you really get good at this?
Do it.
You have to see people. I'll give you the great secret to being an awesome encourager of the heart. Get really curious about people. Slow down and learn about the people you're working with. Find out about their life. Pull out a piece of paper or a journal and take notes and say, I want to know what makes you you. How did you become you? You're the most incredible you on the earth. No one else is you. How did you become like that? They're going to tell you about their parents. They're going to tell you about a real formative experience. They're going to tell you about a trauma. They're going to tell you about a setback. Okay? You've heard me say this before. When you know someone by name, that's step one. When you know someone by talent, step two. When you know someone by spirit, now they'll let you lead. How do you ever know someone by spirit? What do you think? If I know your name, full name, that's step one. Then if I'm curious enough to say, and one of the questions I ask a lot is, if you could do anything today that you wanted to do, and no one was expecting anything from you, what would you do? Sometimes it'll come out like, I would go play my guitar. Or I would go for a run. Or I would go cook something. I love to cook. Now I'm learning them by name and by talent. How do you know someone by spirit? What do you think? Time. Okay, I'll take time, but you can spend a lot of time with someone and not know them by spirit.
Values.
What they believe in, you're getting closer. I'll take it.
What they love.
Good, keep coming.
Ask good questions.
Ask genuine questions. What else?
Make them feel comfortable.
See how they act.
Their passion.
Passion, you're getting close, but nobody's hit the bullseye. What they intend to do, I'll take it. I'll tell you mine. You ready? Adversity. When Trish stands up and says, I was a little girl and my aunt was a missionary, in a way what she's doing is she's letting you into a window into the soul of how her feelings were as a little girl. Envisioning a future for herself in some form of adversity that maybe wasn't playing directly to her advantage, the way she wanted. And you get to know her by spirit in that moment. This business is a business of people telling their stories, and stories always, in the arc of a story, have adversity. When you get close enough to someone to say, tell me some of the tough stuff. You can't do that if you don't know my name. And if you don't know I play the guitar and some genuine interest in me, you're probably not going to get me to like open up about a divorce or a really difficult challenge or the fact that I dreamed of this and it never came to me. But boy, when someone starts to go there, you better drop your pencil and you better lock your eyes and you better be present. I'll give you a great phrase. You ready? Beauty is the harvest of presence. Beauty is the harvest of presence. Now I'm looking at you and my presence is here. That's why on the next level marketing, I say, you guys are all worried about being able to present. And I say, next level is be present. Don't worry about what you got to get said. Be present. Now, when a person starts to go to a place where they're talking about real challenge and real difficulty, okay? Is it Talia or Talia? Will you stand for a second? Do you mind if I mention this? Talia, you're beautiful, by the way. We love you. Thank you for being here. But she was sharing with me about her son Lance and his journey this morning. and what Asiya has done for her son. In that brief moment, how many thousands of hours of anguish, concern, incredible effort have played out into this little moment where she's giving me a window into the real challenge of her life. And I don't want to say anything you don't want me to say, but you shared his autism and the struggles, and I was just listening. I'm just like, this is amazing. Like, we listen to other people's real serious difficulties sometimes, and we need to be present. And I just want you to know I was present listening to you. Thank you so much. It was beautiful what you shared with me this morning. We're getting ready to recognize all of you in just a few minutes. I hope you will realize that that is encouraging the heart. Nobody's sitting next to you when you've got a paper list of names you're trying to follow up with in the middle of your hometown. And nobody wants to listen to you. And you come back, you still have a sunburn from Puerto Rico, you're so excited. And then like you're half a day into just like, I'm gonna do this, and then it's just shut you down. And you're so stoked because you're like, I felt this is the coolest thing ever. And everyone's just like, yeah, whatever. It's hard. It's hard. And by the way, I used to do call nights every Tuesday night, and I wouldn't go on a date with my wife on Friday if I didn't have 10 face-to-face new appointments, 2 set a day. I'd had to. She knew Tuesday night I wasn't coming home. And there's nothing worse. I can still do my phone script right now. And I would call nonstop, right? Hi, Trish, this is Trish. I'm a good friend of Susan. Susan suggested I give her a call, and I promised her I would do that. Is this a good time, right? Because I would put Susan's name in front of it, I had a better shot. Then I'd say, Trish, Susan and I recently met. We were able to do these things for her. She seemed to think that I might be able to help you. I'd like to see if I could. Does that sound fair enough? Because I learned if I said, does that sound fair enough? I got more people to say, yeah, that sounds fair enough. Little nuances that took me forever to get to a place where someone would actually just say, yeah. So here's the deal, like this is scar tissue, but this is hard. And we want to make it easier for you, but we need to encourage each other. Here at these events, we need to be careful how we treat our recognition events at big events, right? You saw me up front the other night, like I'm waving at all our diamonds because I want to say, you know what, this is hard. And you guys deserve to be recognized. So I wanted to talk this morning about leadership and challenge you to take what happened yesterday and lead. Lead. Declare your independence from anything that's keeping you in the out. This is no business. Not one person is better than this business. You hear what I'm saying? I don't care what your education is, no person is too good for what we do. Anybody who tries to suggest to you that you're wasting your time or your energy has no concept of what we're about here. So you declare your independence and you do it. If this environment in a world of increasing enmity can create an environment of amity and we can support each other, who wouldn't want to pay to be here?
Amen.
Who doesn't want to pay to go do what we did yesterday? I paid to get sunburned. I'm up here sweating right now through the shirt. People would love this if they knew. So, what happens when you believe something and it means something to you and you try to share it with someone and they define it down? You honor their agency and you move. You don't try to change their eye color. But you need to lead. And if you want to lead, you should have a clear, inspired, shared vision that you can articulate with other people. And that could be, I want to get X number of people to September's Salt Lake event. That could be a micro vision, go for it. It could be, I want X number of diamonds in my organization. Say it out loud. Don't take counsel from fear. Don't listen to that. Once that vision is there, challenge your process. You know what that means? Decision comes from the same word as incision, which means to cut. So if you're going to make a decision, by definition, you're making an incision. You're cutting something. Interestingly, decide comes from the same word as pesticide. Homicide, what does that mean? To kill. If you're going to make a decision and decide something, you're going to cut or kill something. Sound rough? Normally there's something in our life. In my case, I know, I got to cut some stuff too. But we've all got to make decisions and incisions, and we've got to make decisions to move, and that's how you challenge your process. You're like, I'm not going to get there if the process doesn't change. Okay? Third, what was it? Model the way. You've got to lead out and model. You've got to be the ones. Don't expect anyone to do something you don't do. Number 4, become a master of enabling other people to move. What moves people is not you doing a cannonball into the pool. What moves people is you seeing them where they are, listening, getting to know them by name, talent, spirit, becoming invested in them, and then helping them remove the barriers to their own motivation. People have their own barriers. So your job is not to try to change their eye color. Your job is to say, what keeps Aviva when she's really struggling? Become a master of knowing that little rock in front of her that she stumbles over, and I go, I'm going to attack the rock. So she's like, yeah, I feel really good. I'm going for it. That's really good leadership if you can do that. And the last one, if with pleasure you are viewing any work a man is doing, if you like him or you love him, tell him now. See people doing great things. Tell them they're doing great things. Lift their hearts, encourage their hearts, see their effort, okay? We need to do better as a company. You need to do better as leaders. Those are the 5 practices of exemplary leadership, taken from probably one of my favorite, almost Bible-level books called The Leadership Challenge by Kuz and Posner, if you want to go deep on it. It literally will become almost biblical for you. It's like canonized leadership stuff. And it's those 5 practices, okay? I wish to express my deep love and gratitude for all of you. It is an utter, unspeakable privilege to be a part of this with all of you. Each of you bring the most beautiful, unique backgrounds, talents, experiences. It's the most singular thing. And you invest them in this. I never take it for granted. It's entirely humbling for me to think that you're willing to give your time and energy to this, and I want you to have a return on the investment. I had a friend say to me that a family deserves the highest return on investment for a mother or father's time outside of the home. Unbelievable counsel. A family deserves the highest return on investment for a mother or father's time outside the home. You've got to get a return. And that needs to be you getting to be a better mom or dad, better spouse, better partner, better significant other, better grandpa, better grandma, whatever it is. We need to be helping you get a return on the investment of being here. And it needs to be financial, without any doubt. But it needs to be way more dimensionalized than the financials. You need to be becoming better. And that's believe belong to come. And that's really what today's been about so far. So I want to thank you all for letting me share a few thoughts with you this morning.